believed to ward off evil spirits and bad luck, ensuring a happy marriage.
Weddings are beautiful celebrations of love, but around the world they can come with some truly strange traditions. From shooting arrows at the bride to forbidding bathroom breaks, some rituals might leave you scratching your head. Curious about the weirdest wedding customs on the planet? Let's dive into 15 of the most unusual traditions ever. Number 1. Blackening the bride. Imagine getting ready for your wedding day, filled with excitement and anticipation, only to find yourself covered in flour, ash, feathers, and whatever else your friends and family can get their hands on. Welcome to the unique Scottish tradition of blackening the bride. In this unusual pre-wedding ritual, the bride, and sometimes the groom, is ambushed by friends and family members and completely covered in all sorts of messy and dirty substances: flour, soot, eggs, dirt, feathers, and more. Once the couple is thoroughly blackened, they are paraded around the town, making the experience as public and slightly embarrassing as possible. It's not exactly what most people picture when they think of wedding preparations, but in Scotland, it's all part of the fun. The blackening is more than just a playful prank. Traditionally, it's believed that subjecting the couple to this messy ordeal will help prepare them for the inevitable challenges they'll face in married life. The idea is that if they can endure the humiliation and discomfort of being covered in filth in front of their community, they'll be strong enough to handle any problems that come their way as a married couple. It's also said to ward off evil spirits and bad luck, ensuring a happy and successful marriage. The blackening is often seen as a rite of passage, a way for the couple to prove their resilience and toughness before embarking on their new life together. And while it may sound a bit harsh, it's all done in good spirits. In fact, the more outrageous the blackening, the more support and love the couple is shown by their friends and family. In modern times, the tradition has become a lot more lighthearted. Instead of using harsh substances, people often use things like ketchup, chocolate sauce, and other less harmful, but equally messy items to cover the couple. The blackening has turned into more of a fun, celebratory event rather than a truly challenging ordeal. After the mess, the couple usually heads off to clean up and join their loved ones for a pre-wedding celebration. So, while you might not want to swap your pre-wedding spa day for a blackening, it's easy to see how this playful, slightly chaotic tradition has persisted in Scotland. It brings family and friends together in a unique way, all while preparing the soon-to-be wedded couple for the unpredictable journey that lies ahead. Number 2. Marrying a tree. In some parts of India, especially in regions influenced by astrological beliefs, a fascinating and symbolic wedding tradition takes place: marrying a tree. This custom is specifically practiced by women who are born under a certain astrological alignment known as Manglik Dosh. According to Indian astrology, Mangliks, as they are called, are believed to bring bad luck to their future husbands, potentially causing a troubled marriage or even an early death for the spouse. But don't worry, there's a solution. To neutralize this so-called curse, the woman is required to marry a tree first. Yes, you read that right, a tree. This symbolic marriage is seen as a way to transfer the negative effects of the Manglik Dosh to the tree, sparing the future husband from any misfortune. The tree, often a banana or peepal tree, absorbs the bad luck. After the marriage ceremony with the tree is either cut down or destroyed, signifying the end of the curse. Only then is the woman considered free to marry her human groom without the risk of any astrological backlash. This ritual, though steeped in superstition, holds deep significance in the belief system of Indian astrology. For many families, following this custom brings peace of mind, ensuring that all steps are taken to avoid future marital issues. It's also a reminder of the importance placed on astrology in many aspects of life in India, from naming a child to planning weddings. Though marrying a tree may seem strange or amusing to outsiders, it's seen as a necessary ritual by those who follow it. And while modern interpretations of astrology may be more relaxed, this practice still occurs in some regions of India. It's an example of how deeply traditions can be woven into the fabric of life, no matter how unusual they may seem to others. Number 3. Kidnapping the bride. In Romania, weddings can take a dramatic and playful twist with a centuries-old tradition, bride kidnapping. Before you imagine something out of a crime drama, this kidnapping is all in good fun. and has become a key part of many Romanian wedding celebrations. It's a mix of playful chaos, humor, and a test of the groom's commitment. Here's how it works. During the wedding reception, the bride is abducted by friends or family members, often with her full knowledge. The goal? To whisk her away to a secret location, which could be a nearby restaurant, club, or even a landmark. The groom, upon realizing that his bride is missing, has to embark on a mission to rescue her. But of course, there's a catch. He must negotiate with the kidnappers. The negotiations are usually lighthearted and involve symbolic tasks, like the groom having to pay a ransom, perform silly challenges, or make promises of love to get his bride back. In some cases, the ransom could be a few bottles of alcohol, or the groom may be required to serenade his bride to prove his devotion. The atmosphere is fun and full of laughter, as the bride's disappearance brings the guests together, all while rooting for the groom to prove his worth. The origins of this tradition are thought to date back to times when marriages were arranged, and the kidnapping was a way for grooms to symbolically prove their strength and ability to protect their bride. Over time, it has evolved into a playful, theatrical part of Romanian weddings, and it's embraced with humor and joy. Interestingly, the tradition also symbolizes the bride's transition from her family's care to her husband's. By rescuing her, the groom demonstrates that he is now the one responsible for her well-being and happiness. While it might sound a bit odd to imagine a bride being kidnapped on her big day, in Romania, it's seen as an exciting and fun part of the wedding festivities. The moment the groom successfully brings his bride back is met with applause, cheers, and the couple celebrating together. After all, what better way to start a marriage than with a little adventure and a lot of love? Number 4. Spitting on the bride. In many cultures, blessings for a bride are offered in gentle ways, prayers, toasts, or heartfelt speeches. But in the Maasai culture of Kenya, there's a unique and unexpected way to bestow good fortune on a newlywed: spitting on the bride. Yes, spitting, typically seen as impolite or offensive in many parts of the world, holds a completely different meaning for the Maasai people. As part of the wedding ritual, the father of the bride spits on his daughter's head and breasts just before she leaves with her new husband. This act is meant as a blessing and a wish for a prosperous, healthy, and happy marriage. In Maasai culture, spitting is a gesture of goodwill, respect, and, in this case, a deep parental blessing for the bride's future. While it might seem strange at first glance, spitting as a symbolic act is not uncommon in Maasai customs. It's used in other important life events, too. For instance, Maasai elders often spit on newborns as a way to bless them and ensure good health. In daily life, spitting is also a sign of respect or agreement. Maasai warriors might spit in their hands before shaking hands as a sign of trust and honor. The wedding ritual doesn't stop at the spitting, though. After receiving her father's blessing, the bride doesn't look back at her family as she departs with her husband. This symbolizes her final break from her family and her new life with her husband, marking a significant cultural moment in her journey. To outsiders, the act of spitting on the bride might feel odd or even uncomfortable, but within the Maasai community, it's a deeply meaningful tradition, rich with cultural significance. It's a reminder that rituals and customs can have very different meanings across the world, and what might seem unconventional to some is actually a heartfelt expression of love, care, and good wishes. For the Maasai, this ritual ensures that the bride enters her new life blessed with all the good fortune her family can offer. And while it may raise a few eyebrows, it's a touching reminder of the strong bonds between family and tradition. Number 5. Crying ritual. Weddings are typically thought of as joyous occasions, filled with smiles, laughter, and celebration. But in the Tujia community of China, one of the most important wedding traditions involves quite the opposite: tears, and lots of them. Known as the crying ritual, this emotional custom is not just a last-minute outburst of feelings on the wedding day. In fact, it begins long before the ceremony. About a month before her wedding, the bride starts to cry for 1 hour every day. At first, she cries alone, but after 10 days, her mother joins her. 10 days later, the grandmother joins in, and eventually, other female relatives take part in the ritual as well. By the time the wedding arrives, the bride and the women in her family have formed a chorus of tears. But don't let the crying fool you into thinking this tradition is about sadness or reluctance. Quite the opposite, actually. In Tujia culture, crying before a wedding is a way for the bride to express happiness and deep emotions about her upcoming marriage. The tears symbolize gratitude for her family, the love she has for them, and the bittersweet feelings of leaving them to start a new life with her husband. The ritual is also seen as a way to ensure a prosperous marriage, as it shows that the bride is preparing emotionally for the significant life change ahead. Interestingly, the crying isn't just a simple weeping session. It's often referred to as crying marriage songs, because the women actually cry in a way that sounds like singing. Each family member contributes their own style of cry singing, and together they create a layered, harmonious melody. This adds an artistic and cultural depth to the ritual, making it both a display of emotion and a form of traditional performance. Though the idea of spending hours crying in the lead-up to a wedding might seem unusual to outsiders, the Tujia crying ritual is considered an important and cherished part of their wedding culture. It's a powerful way to honor family ties, express complex emotions, and ensure a bright, happy future for the couple. After all, sometimes tears aren't just about sadness, they're a way to celebrate the most meaningful moments in life. Number 6. Breaking dishes. In most cultures, breaking dishes might be considered bad luck or something that needs to be cleaned up immediately, but in Germany, it's quite the opposite. Smashing porcelain is an essential part of pre-wedding fun, and it's meant to bring the couple good fortune. This lively tradition is called Polterabend, which translates to evening of noise. It usually takes place the night before the wedding, and the goal is pretty straightforward: break as many dishes, plates, and other porcelain items as possible. Friends, family, and neighbors all gather at the couple's home or another location, each bringing along old dishes, cups, and even flower pots to be smashed. As you might guess, the sound of breaking porcelain quickly fills the air. But why break dishes right before a wedding? In German culture, the act of smashing porcelain is believed to ward off evil spirits and bad luck. The noise created by the breaking is thought to drive away any negative energy that could affect the couple's marriage. After all, the more noise, the better the chance of scaring away any lingering bad vibes. However, the tradition doesn't stop there. After the porcelain has been shattered into hundreds of tiny pieces, it's up to the bride and groom to clean up the mess together. This is where the deeper meaning of the ritual comes into play. By working together to clean up the broken dishes, the couple symbolically demonstrates their ability to handle challenges and overcome obstacles as a team. It's an early test of cooperation and partnership, showing that they can face difficulties in life together, just as they'll face the inevitable bumps that come with married life. One important note: glass is not allowed during Polterabend. It's considered bad luck to break glass, so guests stick to porcelain or ceramic items. Polterabend is often a lively, fun event, filled with laughter and a lot of noise. It's a time for friends and family to celebrate with the couple, share in the excitement of their upcoming marriage, and contribute to a bit of good-natured chaos. And at the end of the night, with the dishes cleaned up and the couple's teamwork on display, everyone leaves knowing they've helped set the stage for a strong, harmonious marriage. Number 7. Shooting the bride. Don't worry, no one is getting hurt here. In the Uyghur culture of China, there's a fascinating tradition where the groom shoots arrows, without arrowheads, at the bride. But instead of causing harm, these arrows are a symbol of love and protection. After shooting the bride 3 times, the groom collects the arrows and breaks them, signifying that their love is strong and will last forever. This quirky tradition is all about ensuring a happy and harmonious marriage. By symbolically shooting the bride, the groom is essentially locking in their love, while breaking the arrows shows that nothing will come between them. It's a playful way of expressing the groom's commitment and dedication to his new bride. Although this may sound like a strange way to begin a life together, the practice is lighthearted and meant to bring laughter to the wedding day. The broken arrows represent the couple's promise to overcome any challenges that come their way. The ceremony itself is a unique blend of tradition and fun, adding a touch of drama and excitement to the wedding. It's a reminder that, in some cultures, weddings are not just about love and vows, but also about ritual and symbolic acts that reflect the couple's shared journey. So, while shooting arrows might not be the typical way to show love, in this case, it's the perfect way to seal the deal. Number 8. Log sawing. In Germany, right after the wedding ceremony, the newlyweds are faced with their first marital challenge: sawing a log in half. This tradition, known as Baumstammsägen, involves the couple working together to cut through a large log using a two-person saw. It's not as easy as it sounds, but that's the whole point. The log sawing symbolizes the challenges the couple will face in their marriage. Just like sawing a log, marriage requires teamwork, communication, and persistence. If the couple can work together to get through this task, it's a sign that they'll be able to tackle life's ups and downs as a strong unit. Guests cheer the couple on as they struggle or breeze through the task, and it often leads to laughter as the couple tries to get in sync. Some logs are thicker and more stubborn than others, and the symbolism isn't lost on anyone. Marriage takes effort, but with the right partnership, any obstacle can be overcome. This tradition is not only a fun and interactive moment for the couple and their guests, but it also sets a meaningful tone for the marriage ahead. By sawing through the log, the couple proves that they are ready to face the challenges of life side by side, with patience and cooperation as their most important tools. Number 9. Feet washing and beating. In South Korea, grooms are put to the test in a rather unusual way right before their wedding night. After the ceremony, the groom's friends or family wash his feet, and then in a strange twist, they proceed to beat the soles of his feet with dried fish or sticks. As bizarre as this may sound, the tradition is meant to test the groom's strength, resilience, and, humorously enough, his readiness for the wedding night. The foot beating is more of a playful ritual than a painful one, but it's done with enthusiasm by the groom's closest friends and family. The act of washing his feet symbolizes a fresh start and purity as he enters marriage, while the beating is a lighthearted test of his endurance and ability to withstand some discomfort. After all, marriage requires patience and a bit of toughness, right? In some cases, the groom is even asked trivia questions while being tested in this way. If he answers incorrectly, the beating continues, though it's all in good spirits. The groom's laughter and good nature during the ritual are signs of his readiness for the responsibilities that come with marriage. This quirky custom is unique to South Korea and adds an element of humor to the wedding celebrations. It's not just a test of strength, but also a test of the groom's ability to face life's challenges with a smile, something that will definitely come in handy in married life. Number 10. Bathroom ban. Imagine getting married and then immediately being told you can't use the bathroom for 3 days and nights. That's exactly what happens in the Tidong tribe of Indonesia. After the wedding, newlyweds are prohibited from using the bathroom for 72 hours. Yes, you read that right, no bathroom breaks at all. The reason behind this unusual tradition? It's believed that if the couple can successfully endure the 3-day bathroom ban, they will be blessed with a long, happy, and healthy marriage. Failing to stick to the rule, however, is thought to bring bad luck, including marital problems, infidelity, or even the untimely death of their children. Talk about pressure. To ensure the couple complies, their families keep a close eye on them during this time, providing only small amounts of food and drink to help them get through the ritual. It's a challenging start to married life, but it's believed to strengthen the couple's bond and prove their commitment to each other. Though this tradition might sound extreme, it's a sacred part of the Tidong tribe's culture and is taken very seriously. The 3-day bathroom ban is seen as a rite of passage for the couple, marking their transition from single life to a shared future together. Once the 72 hours are up, the couple can finally return to normal life, and their marriage is considered to be blessed with good fortune and harmony. So, while it may be one of the strangest wedding customs in the world, for the Tidong people, it's a key part of ensuring a successful and happy marriage. Number 11. Chicken liver test. In some parts of China, couples rely on an unusual method to determine whether they're ready to tie the knot, the chicken liver test. This tradition, particularly practiced in rural areas, involves the soon-to-be married couple slaughtering a chicken and examining its liver. The couple closely inspects the organ to see if it's healthy. If the liver looks good, it's a sign that the couple has chosen an auspicious day to get married and that their union will be blessed with good fortune. If the liver appears unhealthy or damaged, it's bad news. They may have to delay the wedding and find another chicken to try again. As odd as this might sound, the chicken liver test is steeped in a long-standing belief in omens and superstitions. In Chinese culture, like in many others, specific signs from nature or animals can indicate whether a couple is destined for happiness. This tradition reflects the importance of ensuring everything is just right before taking such a significant step in life. Imagine the pressure as the couple waits to hear the verdict of a chicken's liver. It's not just about the love between them, but also whether the universe and the chicken agree that it's a good time to get married. Though this ritual is fading in more urbanized areas, it still holds strong in rural communities where old customs and beliefs are deeply respected. For those of us not used to making life decisions based on a chicken's liver, this tradition may seem a little extreme, but it highlights how, in many cultures, marriage isn't just a personal commitment, but one that needs to align with the forces of nature and fate. If the chicken liver looks healthy, it's full steam ahead for the wedding plans. Number 12. No smiling. In the Congo, weddings are serious business, literally. While most of us associate weddings with joy, laughter, and plenty of smiles, in some parts of the Congo, it's quite the opposite. The bride and groom are expected to keep a solemn, serious expression throughout the entire wedding day, including the ceremony and the celebrations afterward. No smiling allowed. The reasoning behind this unusual custom? Smiling is thought to indicate that the couple isn't taking their marriage seriously enough. Marriage is considered a serious, lifelong commitment, and showing too much happiness during the wedding day could suggest that the bride and groom aren't fully aware of the gravity of the step they are about to take. Imagine trying to hold back your smiles and laughter on what's supposed to be one of the happiest days of your life. For the bride and groom in the Congo, this is a true test of their self-control. Even as their friends and family celebrate around them, they must maintain their composure and refrain from showing too much outward emotion. This no-smiling tradition also highlights the cultural differences in how marriage is viewed. While many cultures focus on the joy and celebration of love, others place more emphasis on the seriousness of the commitment being made. For couples in the Congo, the wedding day is not just about celebrating their love, but also about demonstrating their respect for the institution of marriage itself. It's an interesting contrast to the more lighthearted wedding customs we're familiar with, and while it may seem strange to keep a straight face on such a big day, it's a reminder that weddings, in some cultures, are viewed as solemn ceremonies marking the start of a serious, lifelong journey. Number 13. Bride's Shoes Auction. In Poland, weddings come with a quirky, playful tradition that's all about the bride's shoes, sort of. During the wedding reception, there's an auction where the bride's shoes are passed around and guests put money in them. This lighthearted and fun tradition serves a practical purpose, too. The money collected is typically used to fund the couple's honeymoon or help them set up their new home together. The auction begins when the bride removes one of her shoes, which is then passed around to the guests. Each guest places a monetary contribution inside the shoe as it makes its rounds. As the shoe fills up, the excitement builds, and guests often compete to be the one to place the largest contribution. Sometimes guests can also bid for the honor of dancing with the bride or groom, adding another layer of fun to the event. This tradition is all about supporting the couple as they start their new life together. It also gives wedding guests the opportunity to play an active role in helping the couple, and it can get competitive as everyone wants to show their generosity in a memorable way. The auction itself is often filled with laughter and lighthearted banter as guests encourage each other to contribute more. But it's not just about the money, it's also a moment of connection and tradition, bringing the whole wedding party together in a shared celebration. The bride's shoes, typically an elegant and special part of her outfit, take on a new role in symbolizing the couple's future, filled with love, support, and plenty of generosity from their loved ones. So, while it may seem strange to pass around a shoe for money, it's really a fun way to bring people together and help the couple start their married life on solid footing, pun intended. Number 14. Dancing with Corpses. In the Baluba culture of the Congo, wedding traditions take a rather eerie turn. As part of the wedding celebrations, it's not uncommon for the groom to be seen dancing with human bones or even skulls. Yes, you read that right, dancing with corpses. While this might sound morbid, it's actually a way to honor the ancestors and gain their blessing for the newlyweds. In this ritual, the ancestors play a central role in the success and happiness of the marriage. By dancing with the remains of ancestors, the groom is showing respect and inviting the spirits of the departed to watch over and bless the couple's union. It's believed that the ancestors hold great influence over the living, and by including them in the wedding celebrations, the newlyweds are ensuring that their marriage will be guided and protected by their family's spiritual lineage. The tradition is deeply rooted in the Baluba people's belief in the connection between the living and the dead. In many African cultures, ancestors are seen as powerful, protective figures who continue to play an important role in the lives of their descendants. By incorporating them into the wedding, the couple is acknowledging their dependence on the ancestors' wisdom and blessings. While this ritual may seem strange or even unsettling to outsiders, it's a profound expression of the Balaba people's respect for their ancestors. The groom's dance with the bones is a symbolic gesture that brings together the past, present, and future, ensuring that the couple's marriage is blessed by the spirits who came before them. So, though the thought of dancing with skulls may send shivers down your spine, for the Baluba people, it's just another way to ensure that their wedding day and their marriage is filled with love, respect, and the protection of their ancestors. Number 15. Whale Tooth Exchange. In Fiji, one of the most unique and meaningful wedding traditions involves a gift that you certainly don't come across every day: a whale's tooth. When a man wants to ask for a woman's hand in marriage, he doesn't just bring flowers or a ring. Instead, he must present a whale's tooth, known as a tabwa, to the bride's father as a sign of respect and serious intent. The tabwa is considered one of the most valuable and sacred objects in Fijian culture. It represents good fortune, power, and the ability to provide. By offering a whale's tooth, the groom is showing that he is serious about his intentions and that he respects the traditions and values of the bride's family. It's a way of demonstrating his readiness to take on the responsibility of marriage. Whale teeth don't come easily, which makes this tradition even more significant. The groom must put in a lot of effort to obtain the tabwa, showing his commitment and dedication to winning the approval of his future father-in-law. In return, the bride's family may offer their blessing for the marriage. This exchange of whale teeth isn't just a symbolic gesture. It's a deep-rooted tradition that reflects the importance of family, respect, and responsibility in Fijian culture. The whale tooth represents the union of two families, not just two individuals, and it's a powerful way of ensuring that the marriage is built on a foundation of mutual respect and shared cultural values. So, while it may sound unusual to present a whale's tooth at a wedding in Fiji, it's the ultimate sign that the groom is ready to take on the challenges and joys of married life, with the blessing of both families behind him.